In the heart of Umuaka, a village wrapped in rolling hills and bound by ancient traditions, beauty had only one face. A woman's worth was measured by the fullness of her hips, the softness of her belly, and the roundness of her cheeks. To be fat was to be admired, to be praised, to be considered a true daughter of the soil. Every feast, every dance, every marriage negotiation celebrated this singular vision of beauty. But in this village of abundant curves, there lived two girls who stood out like slender reeds in a field of mighty baobab trees. Their names were Ebele and Ifunanya. They were cousins, born of two respected families, loved deeply by their parents but pitied and whispered about by everyone else. From the moment they could walk, their thin legs drew laughter, their lean arms drew scorn, and their sharp cheekbones were seen as a sign of misfortune. While the other maidens blossomed into round, admired beauties, Ebele and Ifunanya remained slim, their bodies refusing to carry the softness that their world demanded. Their mothers tried everything, feeding them bowls of yam pottage rich with palm oil, boiling goat meat until the fat dripped into their soups, praying, fasting, and even visiting distant shrines. Yet the girls' bodies remained as they were, unchanging. Though different, the cousins found comfort in each other's company. In the evenings, when the village prepared for the night, they would slip away to the riverbank, their voices mingling with the rushing water. It was there they whispered their fears, their frustrations, and their secret longing to belong. "If only I could carry flesh on my bones," Ifunanya sighed one evening, dipping her toes into the cool stream. "Maybe then the others would see me as one of them." Ebele's eyes shimmered with sadness, though she forced a smile. "We are as the gods made us, Ife. Still, sometimes I wonder why he made us different in a place like this." As years passed, their difference became more painful. At village dances, suitors flocked to the Rounda girls, praising their fullness and declaring them fit for marriage. Ebele and Ifunanya stood apart, watching with silent longing as laughter and song swirled around them. Whenever they dared step into the circle of dancers, mocking voices would rise. Will your thin legs not break if you stamp too hard? Go and sit down before you disappear." The shame cut deep. One season, as the village prepared for the grand Irig festival, Ebele's mother wept at the sight of her daughter's slender frame. "Ebele, please eat more," she begged, pushing a calabash of yam pottage before her. "Do you not see how the other maidens glow? What man will marry you like this?" "I try, Mama," Ebele whispered, forcing spoonfuls down though her stomach ached. "But no matter what I eat, I remain the same." Word soon reached Mama Nneka, the old village healer. Known for her wisdom and feared for her closeness to the unseen, she summoned the cousins to her hut one evening. They entered hesitantly, the air thick with the scent of burning herbs. "Children," she said in her deep, steady voice, "I see your pain as clear as the moonlight. You wish to be like the others, but the gods have marked you differently. Do not curse your difference. It may yet become your crown." "But Mama Nneka," Ifunanya cried, "how can it be a blessing when it brings us nothing but shame?" The old woman smiled, her wrinkled face glowing in the firelight. "Time has a way of revealing what we do not yet understand. Trust that your path is not a mistake." Though her words brought a moment of comfort, doubt still weighed heavily on the cousins' hearts. They were tired of waiting for a future that seemed uncertain. One evening after the festival, a stranger arrived in Umuaka. He was tall, dressed in strange clothes, and carried with him the confidence of someone who belonged to another world. His name was Namdi, a merchant who traveled between cities, bringing stories of places where beauty was not measured by flesh alone. As he watched the dancing maidens, his eyes did not linger on the roundest or the heaviest. Instead, they found Ebele and Ifunanya standing shyly by the shadows, their slender forms glowing in the moonlight. He stepped toward them with a warm smile. "You," he said softly, "you shine differently." The girls exchanged bewildered looks. "Shine? Us?" Ifunanya asked. "Yes," Nnamdi replied. "Where I come from, people seek faces like yours. Lean, graceful, strong. The world beyond this village is wider than you imagine, and it is waiting for women like you." The cousins' hearts raced, torn between disbelief and hope. Could it be true that their difference, which had brought them nothing but ridicule, could be valued somewhere else? Whispers spread quickly when Nnamdi began visiting their families, speaking of opportunities beyond the hills of Umuaka. Many villagers scoffed. What beauty can he see in these ones? He must be mad. But Ebele and Ifunanya's parents, seeing the spark of hope in their daughter's eyes, gave their blessings. So it was that the two cousins left the village together, stepping into a world they had never known. The city was overwhelming, bustling markets, endless streets, and lights that chased away the night. But it was also a place where they were no longer mocked for their size. Nnamdi introduced them to artists, designers, and traders who marveled at their unique look. Before long, Ebele and Ifunanya began to model clothes for merchants, their images spreading from town to town. The same thin legs that had once been laughed at now carried them down runways. The same sharp cheekbones that had drawn pity now captivated crowds. Back in Umuaka, word of their success reached the ears of those who had mocked them. Some dismissed it as a rumor, but when the cousins finally returned, dressed in fine garments and carrying gifts, the truth was undeniable. The village gathered, astonished, as the once slim outcasts stood tall with confidence. Children no longer called them names, but chased after them with laughter. Women who had once pitied their mothers now praised them, and men who had overlooked them bowed with admiration. Standing in the village square, Ebele raised her voice, her words carrying with the evening wind. "We once thought we were cursed because we were not like you. But the gods make no mistakes. Each of us is shaped differently for a reason. Beauty is not only in flesh, but in the spirit, in the courage to walk proudly as we are." The villagers listened, their hearts stirred. From that day, Umuaka began to shift, learning slowly that beauty could not be bound by a single image. Ebele and Ifunanya's journey had shown them that difference is not a weakness, but a gift. They had left the village as outcasts, but returned as symbols of strength and possibility. And as they stood together beneath the setting sun, the cousins finally understood Mama Nneka's words. What had once been their shame had indeed become their crown.